Hi guys, how are you? If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about my X-T4 settings for photography, and this is exclusively for photography. I'm going to make one more video where I'm doing 4 video, but I guess this should give you a really good idea about how I set my camera for photography, mostly for the professional use. Firstly, set your mode dial to still. Set your speed dial to CL. Set the autofocus to custom when you're not doing manual. When I'm shooting professionally, I try and adjust it with the front and back scroll wheel. But sometimes when I'm doing the street, I adjust with the dials on the top. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do it when you're doing professional photography. At least how I do it. I always lock the shutter speed dial at T, and I always lock the ISO dial in C. Go to command dial setting in button dial settings and keep these settings, and it's very important because this assigns shutter speed to the back scroll wheel, and this assigns ISO to the scroll wheel, so that I can control both of these settings with my scroll wheel from front and back. But when I'm doing streets, I love to shoot with dials, especially now when I'm figuring out slowing down the process is quite interesting and quite useful. So let's move on to the menu settings. As soon as you open and see the first menu, it's IQ, where you set the image size and quality and stuff. So I always keep the image size to 3:2 and image quality to N plus RAW, normal plus RAW, because most of the times I'm always shooting on RAW and I'm processing in the post, but sometimes I like to see the JPEGs and how they look. So for that reason I always have a JPEG right next to it. And in some computers, and like whenever I'm giving it to the clients and stuff, they don't have a preview, so to give them some kind of a preview, I actually keep the N. And also I don't shoot in uncompressed mode. I kind of shoot always in lossless compressed. I haven't ever faced any problem. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. Next is I always keep the film simulation in Eterna, because I want to see, especially for portraits and stuff, I kind of keep it in Eterna. But when I'm actually shooting street, I kind of keep it in classic chrome. Initially I was doing a lot of the new simulation, the classic neg, but I kind of shifted it to classic chrome again, and then now I only shoot on classic chrome. But especially when I'm shooting on professionally or like portraits, I kind of keep it in Eterna, and that way I can see like a lot of dynamic range, and I can also I kind of like it. I kind of like the colors and stuff. Grain effect, I kind of keep it off. Color chrome effect, I kind of keep it weak, because it gives me a little bit more punch and stuff. So with white balance, I kind of keep it auto. Most of the times auto works fine, but even in the auto there are 3 modes. One is for white priority, one is for ambience priority. I always keep it in the middle. Sometimes what I do is, especially in low light, X-T4 tends to go a little magenta, so then I go a little bit green side in the white balance shift. But mostly I'm constantly using auto white balance, especially in pictures, because I know I'm going to go into the post and correct it, and also it's a raw image. So especially when I'm doing continuous autofocus, I'm always keeping it in 1. It's kind of in multi-purpose, and most of the times I don't shoot like too much of sports and stuff, so I kind of keep it in 1, and it always has worked for me, even from like X-T2 and X-T3 time. I always use a self timer when I'm doing low shutter speed most of the times, because that way it keeps the image steady. And I think now, because of the IBIS, I kind of don't use it much. Interval time shooting, ISO auto. So my auto one might be very different from what yours is, because sometimes I just put the ISO on auto and just like let the camera choose the exposure, and I set the exposure at like +1 or something, especially with Eterna, especially doing like those high key kind of a shoot. So I keep it at like 160, and then put the sensitivity to 1600. There is ISO set 2, which I go all the way till 3200, but yeah, that's when I'm doing street. The third auto 3 is when I'm actually shooting something very low light and low thing, and where I'm going to do a lot of noise reduction, especially for low light. I kind of use a 3, but for now I only use 1 with like 160, so I kind of keep it at 1. So that's an IQ. Let's move on to autofocus settings. Firstly, I always use this focus area. This is If you can see, it's not too big, but at the same time it's not too small. It's around this size. I kind of keep it at that point. I'm going to scroll through some settings. You can understand why it is, because there's not much to say. It's self-explanatory. I'm gonna show as is. And the number of focal points, I kind of leave it at 117 because I feel 425 is too many when I'm actually going through the image. So I kind of leave it at 117 and it works best. And definitely please switch off this autofocus eliminator. You don't want to flash a small light, tally light onto your model's face, so always keep that off. And again, these are my other settings for focus, so maybe it'll help. I always keep in peaking, especially when I'm doing in manual focus. I keep it to red and high because that has been working for me from GH5, from other cameras. I kind of use the same on EOS R, so it kind of helps perfectly. I always keep the focus check off. So this I always keep it to area, because when I want to shoot, it kind of helps me. And especially when I'm shooting with the viewfinder and I want to like move with the thumb, it kind of helps me. So I always keep it to area. What happens when I'm putting, like, say something like AF for one shot, is like, it's quite weird. It does, when you do AF, it does once and then it locks the autofocus, which I don't like. So I always keep it on area and it actually helps a lot. But yeah, let's move on to the next shooting settings. In the drive setting, like I said, I always keep it in CL, and my CL is always 3 FPS because I don't want to waste my settings. And I kind of like leave it at CL. I hardly use CH, but most of the times it's always on CL. But most of the times nowadays I shoot on S. But one problem is, as you can see, when I'm on S, when I take a picture, it takes time for storing. But when I'm actually shooting on CL, it doesn't take much time to get back to the setting. Maybe it's just me. If you guys know how to get rid of that, please let me know in the comments below, because I couldn't find a setting. If I'm not wrong, it doesn't happen on X-T3. For some reason it's happening on X-T4. Please let me know what you if you have any other setting for me to remove that. I have a self timer lab just to know like when it's going to blink and stuff. But otherwise everything else is quite self-explanatory. I always keep the metering to multi. Initially I always used to keep it spot, where it's actually metering only the area where you are setting the focus on. But I think on this camera multi works pretty great, and then I always keep it on multi. A lot of people like to shoot on electronic shutter. Even though the rolling shutter on this camera is really good, I still only shoot on mechanical shutter just to be on a safer side, where I don't get those flickers and stuff. I kind of always keep it in MS. Definitely keep this on when you are especially shooting on electronic shutter and stuff. IS mode, I always keep it on shooting only just to save, not only just to save the battery, but also when you're actually removing the lens and all that. It kind of is recommended, and always keep it on shooting only. But sometimes when you are actually using like longer lenses, like say 400mm and stuff, I would say just come here and change it to continuous. It kind of helps in even setting the frame and stuff. Yeah, now my ISO setting is auto 1, and wireless communication is self-explanatory. Flash, most of the times I avoid flash. In the user setting, date, it's all self-explanatory. I'll just show you what all I have set on my menu. For like urgency, I kind of kept these. So first is film simulation, when I want to like change the simulation and see how it looks if I process it differently. I always shoot on auto white balance, but sometimes when you're in a studio situation, you don't have a gray card, you want to set it manually. It actually helps a lot in that kind of situation. Next is AFC custom setting. I hardly use this, but I kept it just in case if I want to change the setting to something to track or something to do something of that sort. But most of the times I genuinely never come here, but it's there just in case. There is face and eye detection setting which is off for now. I don't know why, but next is there is self timer. As you all know, whenever we need the self timer to be on, we always keep fiddling and finding it, and these are something actually which I keep fiddling and finding stuff, so I kept it in here. But otherwise all the others are like quite easy to navigate and get to. Like I kind of love shooting time lapses, so I have this time lapse setting as a shortcut as well. And like I said, I want to get to auto ISO, like all three auto ISO settings, so I also kept it handy in my menu settings. And there is another one which I hardly use. Honestly, I haven't yet registered them, so I might do it. But on my X-T3 I kept it like this, so I kept the custom settings in such a way where I have one for portrait and one for sports or one for street, so I kind of putting them in that way and then changing it here. Let's move on. I'm going to show the my menu setting video later because this is all about photography. You should definitely check the video for video settings if it's out already. Okay, with sound setup, it's quite self-explanatory. I always keep the operational volume off and the autofocus beep off because it's just quite irritating. I also kept the shutter volume off. With screen setup, I have done few adjustments. One is LCD brightness. I made it -1 because whenever I'm actually going on the computer and seeing the image, it comes a little darker. So I kind of made the brightness of the screen -1 so that luminance is calibrated with the computer or the laptop I'm using. Most of the colors and everything is pretty much calibrated on this, because if you see my GH5, I've calibrated my whole screen just so I can see it as I can see on my computer and stuff. And you can see the other settings, and always keep the natural live view off because this is a lifesaver, and thank me later, it'll show the images that are gonna come out, and that's the whole point of it. Never change these two settings. You can see the rest of the settings and keep them as is. I'll quickly go to display custom settings. So these are the settings I've kept in my screen. One is the framing guideline. Like I said, I don't keep it on. Electronic level, it actually sometimes doesn't show because if it's straight and if it's in a stagnant position, it doesn't show. But when you're moving the camera, the bubble level comes in, so you can actually set it and make it properly. Then I've kept all these on. I always keep the histogram on the screen because it helps me a lot in exposing. With Fuji cameras, you don't want to clip the highlights because it's really impossible to recover like in Sony cameras. Try and always shoot in good exposure. Try not to clip it. For that reason, sometimes I've kept Zebra and I have put a shortcut. I'll show you in a bit. And then these are few more things I've kept. I don't want to explain each and everything. If you have any doubts, just pause for a second and check the settings and set it on your camera. So the button and dial setting, this is quite important. For the quick menu, I kind of kept like 12 slots, but I hardly use only 4 from that. And these are again, man, something that I always keep fiddling and looking for. Some of them I keep it here, but I need to like also adjust it according to my need. So you also see and select what you kind of keep fiddling. Try and keep it in quick menu or my menu, and that way you can always like you go on a shoot and then you don't end up like fiddling your camera and finding things. I kind of got so used to Fuji, now I don't fiddle so much, so I'm actually not giving that much attention to my menu and quick menu. But I would say you should definitely spend some time customizing the camera for your needs. But I'm going to show you what I've put on function buttons. Function 1 I kept for again face or eye detection autofocus, which is quite handy. The button in the front I kept as high speed shooting setting. Unfortunately for function buttons you can't apply both video and photo, so I kind of had to choose one for that. And it's quite handy, especially when you want to shoot like 4K and suddenly you want to change it to slow motion, so it's always there handy in there, so I kind of keep it there. And the next one is IS boost. Like the function 3 button is IS boost, so whenever you want to have extra stabilization, especially when you're doing handheld and you're not panning or tilting much, so this helps a lot. So I kind of love it on X-T4 that we have an IS boost. And function 4, as like it's like mostly a default setting where you have simulations that you want to change, and on the right dial button, it's mostly white balance, so I kind of keep it as is. But for 6, I kept it zebra. Like I said, I kept it zebra on or off, because sometimes when I want to check if I'm blowing the highlights or not, I kind of check it with that button. I use touch function mostly for just like tapping and autofocusing. I mostly never use it for swiping up and swiping left or right for a shortcut button or a function button. So I kind of don't ever use these 4 things. I'm always keeping the touch function off for that. Next is AEL button. This is quite important. I always, whenever I'm shooting on white balance, I don't like to see 20 images in 20 different white balances. So what I do is, for the first image, I point at the subject and then I lock the white balance, and it remains same for the next 20 images. So that's kind of quite handy. So I keep it auto white balance lock in AEL. For autofocusing, I kind of do half pressing on my shutter, and then I use this to lock the autofocus. I'll show you why I do it in the video that I'm doing for video settings. And rear dial button, I left it as is. It's mostly for zooming into the subject when I'm actually shooting on especially shooting on manual and to check focus. But when I'm actually if I do long press, it changes to focus peaking or highlight mode, where everything becomes kind of sharp and like edgy. But most of the times I use it for that. Q is the Q menu, which I showed you. So I'm going to quickly go through the rest of them. I always shoot on performance boost mode because the battery life is so good in the X-T4, so I don't actually feel like shooting in normal mode, so it's quite good. I always keep it for the resolution, so most of the times I'm actually never having bad quality on the screen. These are the problems that we face on Sony cameras, but I'm very happy that we have really high resolution screen all the time whenever we're shooting, and we don't have to change anything. That's about it, guys. These are some of the other settings. I'll quickly go through. I set my copyright info on everything, especially because I want to have all the images to have my copyright information. Other than that, everything else is quite self-explanatory. That's it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you think this is helpful, and if you think you said something else differently, please let me know, and I would love to know what your settings are. And also I'd love to know if you tried these settings and how it worked for you, if there is something that I should change, and if there is something that will help me better. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Once again, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on like button. It does help, so please like this video, and see you guys. See you soon. Bye bye.